There are so many blunders and mistakes people are making while they are applying for jobs, and so many blunders and mistakes people are making while they are applying for scholarships. It is very difficult to go discussing all the blunders in one video. So on this video, I'm going to talk about what blunders and mistakes people do make while they are applying for jobs on the aspect of resume and the CVs, and what blunders people make in their CVs and resumes while they are applying for scholarships. Welcome to my today's show, and again, my name is Ernest Boniface Makulilo EBM, talking to you from Missouri, United States of America. And as I said, before you continue, you go here, youtube.com/EBM Scholars on my channel, and subscribe to my channel so that you can be able to get all these direct notification once I post a new video or audio or any something I'm going to post, which will be benefiting you. So, in order to get job or to get scholarships, one of the most important part of the application is to submit your resume, or some people are supposed to submit their CV. But there are so many problems, especially my colleagues in Africa, when they are applying for jobs, when they are told to write a CV or resume, or they are applying for scholarships, they are putting their resume and CVs. The biggest problem is the matter of perception, the matter of how life in majority parts of Africa versus Western part, which is typical capitalist, competitive kind of economy. So those are two things which are different. So in Africa, for many people are used on the technical know-how. If you know somebody, you just get a job. You get a job because you are from this tribe. You get a job because you are from this particular church or this kind of religion. You get a job because you have this kind of name from this particular tribe or from this particular family. So those are the things about people making someone to apply to get a job. So sometimes you find out some people who are very qualified, you don't get these kind of opportunities because you have a name which comes from another tribe, or because you are from different religion. There are so many factors which don't judge or don't take someone's competence into consideration while they are applying for jobs. So that is the biggest thing happening in many developing countries, particularly in Africa. So if that thing is happening, so that is making people, while they are applying or they are putting their resume, they put unnecessary information. They put information to identify themselves more instead of showing their competencies, showing what skill sets they have, and they are able to execute where they get that kind of opportunity. So you find someone in your resume, they put about tribe, religion, all other personal information which don't show anybody's capabilities or expertise on how you can be able to help to that particular organization you are applying, or why you are competent. They don't show that. So people are putting unnecessary information. So when you're talking about resume and the CV, so what I'll be doing, I will be, first of all, giving like in very highlight. There are three main parts of the CV or resume. Three parts. The first part I call introduction. And the second part is the main body of the resume and the CV. And the last part is obviously the conclusive remark or the conclusion part. So on the introduction part, you don't go to write introduction. So this is the biggest problem on my colleagues in Africa. What they do in the introduction part, they put the word name, Ernest Makulilo, date of birth, marital status, religion, sex, put the passport number or the national ID number. They put a lot, PO box, whatever. They put so much information, and each one in one line. So you find half of the page is about this kind of information, which they don't add value at all. So this is just like one of the examples. You can see what I'm talking about. And this person has a PhD, he's a doctor. So you find the first thing is personal details, date of birth, ID number, sex, marital status, religion, address, telephone, email, present post. So unnecessary information. Another person is doing the same way. Surname, first name, other name, sex, marital status, nationality, date of birth, postal address, phone number, language, email address. So these are the mistakes I'm talking about. So no one is going to give you the job because of your national identification number. No one is going to give you scholarship because you are born on 1970, or because you are Christian, or because you are Muslim, or because you have 2 wives, or because you are just having 1 kid. Who cares about those information? So forget about those information. On the introduction part, don't put any personal information which doesn't show your competence. So on the introduction part, you need to have 1 line with the name Ernest Boniface Makulilo. The second line, my phone number, you put there, and then you put the email address. Full stop. Unless others want to put in the PO box, it's okay. So that is something you need to put. So on the introduction part, you need to put just that particular item. So you don't need to put all those things. It's just like your name, Ernest Makulilo, or Ernest Boniface Makulilo, phone number, blah, 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 email over there. That's all. Don't put about your marital status. Don't put your age. Assume you are applying a job as a manager. You are applying a job as a manager, and I see your age is 25. Oh, this kid is 25. Why do you need to be a manager? Just go and get some experience. So someone cannot give you a job because of your age. You put there a job on your job. You say, I'm single. And someone says, okay, this person is single, will come here and cause some trouble. So people started judging you because of unnecessary personal information. So don't put too much. Put your name, email address, and your phone number. That's all. That's on introduction part. On the main body, it comprises 2 parts. The first part is education, and the second part is work experience. But you can choose. You can start with the work experience, or you can come with the work experience, or then you can come with education. So it's either way. You can choose whatever you want. So those are the things you need to consider also, like while you are applying. Okay, so I'm going to give example of how people make this one. Let's start with education. So in education, assume you have master's degree. So the only part people put there is supposed to be post-high school education. You have a bachelor degree, so don't put any education less than a bachelor degree. Unless otherwise you have gone to another college, maybe you took a diploma in something, or you took a postgraduate on something. But don't put your high school, put your ordinary secondary school, you put your primary school, elementary school. No. You have master's degree, you are applying for PhD. Obviously, we know you went to primary school. Obviously, we know you went to secondary school. You know, we went for high school. That's why you apply. You went to the university. So just put your bachelor and masters. If you're a bachelor, just put your bachelor only. So don't start putting your school. I went to Nsangangongere primary school. I went to this kind of Mtakuja primary school. Who cares? Those are minor information. They don't add value at all. So if you look at the information, this person has PhD. Education part is PhD, masters, and bachelor. That's all. So don't start putting like, let me give you some, that is American one. Let me give someone, this person is from Kenya. Put the education wise, started like with PhD, masters, bachelor, secondary school, high school, whatever. Then this person did with had lower secondary school, primary school. What is that for? You have PhD. Why do you need to put in primary school? You don't need to put in primary school education here. You have PhD. So those are the things you need to consider while you are putting the information. They are necessary. Then it comes to the aspect of work experience. So this you have to be very careful. How do you put the, and especially the majority of people are recent graduates. So if you're a recent graduate, just finished, maybe let's say you finished last year. So maybe you are a teacher. You have been there working just for 1 year or just a couple months. Find a way on how you can create your resume with so many items. So instead of just putting just from 2017 to 2018, a teacher, just put the function you are doing, like as a teacher, because you are automatic academic advisor. So academic advising. So you show from which year to which year what kind of advising you have been doing and what impact have you produced. If you are doing some counseling, what kind of counseling are you doing, and what is the impact? If you have been doing something like, let's say, you have been doing like a normal teaching, explain. So those are the things you have to put. You can put the functional in that way, like this is the function, instead of just saying the job title and you start like, how many job title do you have? You have few because you were recently graduate. So those are the things you have to consider. And forget or try to avoid the use of terminologies which are not familiar in another country. So if you are applying a job in America or applying a job in England, instead of putting the work experience is, I went to the field, assuming that you did the practical training while you are studying at the university. So the word field doesn't have the same meaning in America, or in Europe. So you have to, it's your responsibility to find what are the terminologies are used in those particular countries. So instead of using the word I went to the field, you say I did the internship. So those are the things you have to consider. But also, apart from that, avoid the use of abbreviation, unless otherwise you write the full word and then you put in bracket the abbreviation. Don't put I just worked at TRA. Just put I worked at Tanzania Revenue Authority. I worked at Uganda Revenue Authority. I worked in Kenya Revenue Authority. Don't put I worked at URA. Who knows who is URA? I worked at TRA. Someone can know that this might be associated with the Lord's Resistant Army. So you need to have exactly word of the long form, and then you can put in a bracket the abbreviation. So those are the things to put in mind. And some people, they put on the last part of the resume or their CV, they start to put hobbies. Why do you need to put hobbies? Hobby, swimming. Are you applying to be a pool man? If you're not applying a job related to swimming, don't put swimming as a hobby. Unless otherwise, let's say you're applying for journalism and you say your hobby is being a blogger, blogging is a hobby, that can make a sense. But don't put just hobby watching TV. By putting a hobby to watch TV, I know you are a lazy person. So there are certain things someone can judge you because by putting certain information which are not that important. So put information which are directly related to the job you are applying. Put information which are directly related to the application of scholarship you are applying, you want to get. So just, that's what you can do. So don't put like hobby. Instead of there, put publications you have published. Put some seminar you have attended. What some other things you can put like bilingual. Other skills you have, like you have skills maybe about conflict resolution or something. But just put like unnecessarily watching TV. No, it doesn't make sense at all if you are using things of those nature. So avoid things which can identify you and be judged in a personal level and not in a professional capacity. That's what I can try to explain to you on how to create a very competitive, strong resume or CV. That is one of the way. So if you have any question, drop down here. I'll be able to respond to your questions. But otherwise, that is just high level of what your resume is supposed to look like.